Hello and welcome everybody, it's Kristy here. I'm here to make another Sew Dotty Bits project bag that Sally and I made. We made our first one when I was in England with her in her sewing studio, and so that was the one that we made together. Or Sally made hers and I made mine. And then the other day I wanted to make a smaller one, so I've made this one here. So this is the size of a bread and butter plate, so you can still pull the edges in and make it go like a little bag. You can still use that as a handle, or you can just leave it open like my other one with a little bit of a curled up edge, and you can still use that as your project bag. Now I've decided I wanted to make a smaller one, so I've done it with this project in mind with a little teacup. Now this is my grandmother's willow, so it's been passed down from her to my mum and then on to me. So I wanted to make a smaller one, so I thought, what could I use? And I found this and I thought it would be perfect. So I've got a piece of canthus stitching quilt, and I have many in my shop to sell, so if you're after some canthus stitching pieces, this is one here with that on that side, and there's only a few of these ones because this is from Kate's quilt that I bought from her, so it's that side there and there's that side. I think there's only about 3 of these left. I'm not too sure on that one. So if you wanted to contact me on my Instagram page, d_Sewbits_, then you'll find me over there. All right, so let's get started. So my thought was that I would just have fabrics on the top and the colour on the bottom. So my thinking is I'm going to have the pink on the bottom, and I found some little random scraps and I've decided to put them on. So that one's a bit of a round one. Not sure if that will work. I'm sure it will. Maybe I'll have that in the middle. And then we've got these bits of scraps here. I did have them on my piece, but then I thought, I better show you what I'm doing with them. So you can just lay them down in any order that you want. Don't be too fussy with them. Oh, I mucked all that up now, didn't I? Right, let me just turn that one around. Here I am saying don't be too fussy, and I can't get them to get them to put them down on the fabric. That's a big piece, so maybe I will tuck that under there. That can go under there. It doesn't matter if the little bit of canthus stitching under there is showing because it's not just white. So I've got those down, and I found some little embellishments. So I'm going to put that down probably there. And this one here, I'm not sure about this one because it's a quite heavy lace. No, what have I got here? It's a bit of blue. We can do that on the top. We can do that actually after we stitch this down. So I will come back and I will stitch this down. I've got my needle. I did have my needle all ready to go. It's come off the Has it gone over there? No, it definitely came out. Oh, be good if I could thread it. So I'm just going to use a bit of pink just to start off with. I'll do a little bit and then I'll stop the video and come back. Right, I need a pins just to pin it down a little bit. I don't want it pinned down vigorously, otherwise your threads will get caught up in the pin heads. So all I'm going to do is just do some tacking stitches, but that's going to be the bottom, isn't it? Maybe I'll just start with a running stitch to complement the back of that. Let's just cut that off. Oops, didn't work there. That's what I'll do. I don't need to, I will just, and don't forget I've got to have a circle, so I'm just going to do some running stitches all the way along. Just leave my tail out. I'm not worried whether the stitches are shorter and longer or shorter. See, that's what happens when you have those pins in there. And don't forget to stretch your fabric out when you do the running stitch. Now you don't need to do running stitch as much as they have done on the Canth quilt. Oh, you can't see that. I'll bring you back just a little bit. There we go. So it's fairly easy, nothing too hard, just as long as you don't prick your finger. Now my stitches are quite large compared to the Canth stitches on the piece. My needle's just, I should just get, I don't know what happened to my, I do have a needle threader, but do you think you know where I put it? No, I do not. It's here somewhere, but I can't seem to thread the needle. There we go. Sometimes if I have too much of a bigger gap, I just go in and then come out up next way. So it looks like it's always been there. And it won't really, the back won't matter. Unless you want to cover it, you can just cover it with a piece of fabric. But I'm not going to, I'm just going to leave the back. Doesn't look too bad. I'll just go back down here and come up here. So that's all I'm going to do, and then I will come back and show you the next part what to do. So I'm back with the finished piece for the canter stitching, and I found, and I thought, oh, there's some beautiful fluoro pinks in there, and then I went rummaging in my stash and I found this lovely piece of this lovely tag of threads from Ross. Thank you, Ross. And I thought, yes, I will use that. So I was deciding between that one, and I chose that one, and I'm really happy. And when you turn it over, look at the back. Isn't that so pretty? So, yep, happy with that. And I also, I actually do have some fluoro packs in my shop, so I will be uploading those shortly. And if you're interested, head on over to my DStash Sew Bits page in Instagram, and you will find a pack of these threads. But you are welcome to ask for singular ones as well if you don't like all of the colours. So I wanted to put some other little bits down, so I found these three. I love things in three. It looks sort of a bit better. It looks a bit bare when you've just got two. So have a go at doing things in three. I'm really trying not to overthink it, because when I overthink it, I just don't get things done and I get all too confused. So if I think it looks right, just put it down and stitch it. So you can't change it. Well, you can actually, but I'll just actually, I won't put a knot in that. I'll just let that come through the back and leave a little tail. I'll go down. And then what I'll do is I'll come straight back up to where, in the same spot, so it anchors the thread on the back. Oh, it came straight out. Make a liar of me. You can pull it slightly. And it should anchor there, and I'll make a bit of a tail, a bit more of a tail, and I will lock that in later. So all I'm going to do now is go down. Actually, I'm just going to pick up the thread from the fabric just underneath this white crocheted piece. The needle just slides under, so you can just feel it. But what I should have done is probably just done it with white normal cotton thread. So you know what? I have pink. See, that came straight out. I have white here. Let's change our needle out to something fairly thin. No, that's a beading needle. That one will do. And I'm thinking that I will just slip the needle between the fabrics so it doesn't show on the back. I don't think this needle's very sharp. So that means you're not going to see the thread. Because it's blending into the white fabric. So I can feel the thread going underneath the fabric there. I should put my ears in, shouldn't I? I have some earbuds. I thought maybe that would be better, using those for the speaker so you can hear me better. But I forgot to put them on. Right, there we go. I've done all three now. Let's get on to the next part. So it will be getting my cup and making a circle. So I've got all sorts of 3 different pens. I've got actual friction pen itself, like a pen, and these ones are a pen as well. This one's somehow is a clicker friction pen, so it still works the same. Or I've got my water fabric marker, which I probably think I might use, so we'll see how that works. Oh yeah, that works good. You're not going to see it anyway, so it doesn't matter. So it's very simple. You just cut round now. So don't throw these bits away. You might be able to use them in something. I mean, I would probably tidy that up and cut that off there. And I think that probably would be it. Be able to just snip them across there and then just put them on your piece as a decorative element. Okay, there it is. So what have we got to do next? We have to put a casing on. So I found my casing, but I think my casing's it's going to be a little bit still too big. So I was thinking of putting this in. So as long as my this fits in the casing, I have to make it a little bit bigger. So what I'm going to do is turn my iron on, get rid of my pens so I don't mark my piece. I'm going to iron my casing very tiny at the edge. Probably won't need to be that long. Or you don't have to actually. If you wanted to, you could just fold it in half. Let's just do it this way. Come on, there we go. Oh, it's just not working. I have to do that. Naturally wanted to curl itself. All right, so as long as we've got enough, so we start here, go around. We have plenty of leeway. So what I'm going to do is put that in there. Snip that off actually, 'cause that's the selvage. Iron my casing over. And what am I going to use? Thread. I think I would just use let me see what I've got here. I think I'll just use that. To get my big needle. Now I don't know what type of needle this is. It might be a John James needle. It looks a little bit bigger than a John James needle, unless it's a milliner's needle. I don't actually know. That's very tiny. I don't know. All right, so what we're going to do is come up, we're going to actually do a, I'll get it right in a minute, do a stitch so we can keep the fold down. You don't want raw edges on the edge of the casing. What I'll do is I'll come back. Don't be too particular with it. Like I said, this is supposed to be fun. And you want to make it fun if you're just stitching what you need to do. So how is everybody? I probably haven't even asked you that. We are having some amazing winters at the moment. Sunny days. It actually feels like spring. And we're right nearly the last week of July. All right, so what am I going to do? I might actually do it this way, and then that can fold up over there like that. So you just got to start somewhere. All this here will get sewn in when I sew around it. All right, so that's at the bottom. Let's just not pull that too tight. I'll go through the bottom. Oh, that's too tight. Come back here. There we go. So if you just come back up again, just to secure that little bit, and then do a running stitch all the way around. I'm going to have mine close together. And what that will do is lock the fabric in on that side. What you could do is make little snips. I wonder if I can find my scissors. I wanted to say too, this is when I went to, oh, it's a bird. When I went to Corinne's retreat, the lovely Chris gave us some little gifts, and I wanted to say thank you very much for that. And I forgot to do it on my haul video, and so I thought, oh, I hope she's watching. And if you are, Chris, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. It's lovely, and I love the dangle on my scissors. So what I'm going to do is just going to snip slightly, not too far. You're not too far in. And what that will do, see how it's opening up? Oops, there. It will just ease the fabric around because it's going in a circle, and it will help make it sit properly. So let me just put a little, excuse me for reaching over. Let's just put a little pin in there. Probably need my applique pins, but I don't have them. That's not going to be good. I need to do it here first. You wouldn't think it makes a difference, but it actually does. What it does, it helps the fabric, ease the fabric into a circle, not a straight line. Let's hope I don't get stabbed by my pins. And then what that will do is that will make that go over there. And then what we can do is just leave a raw edge on that side because it doesn't matter. And then my casing is going to be this all the way round. Let's hope it works. If that casing doesn't, if this rickrack doesn't work, I'll find something else to do. It might be just the fact that it's you know, a bumpy, but I want to give it a go. So we'll go all the way round. Then I use the table sometimes to ease the needle through. And then the needle comes out. Who's that? Oh, that's you, sissy boy. Obviously you can take the pin out, and I just like to go a few times around and then push it down. So I will go all the way around and come back. So I've come back, and yes, this is different. I did not like I just didn't like this one. I've tear stained it, and it just looks too grungy and not quite the right colours for that. So I decided to find some other fabrics in my stash, and I found this piece, which was, I tend to just keep all these long pieces in a box. And so I went in and found that piece, and I've just swapped it out and stitched it down. And I also then remembered to do the two ends, the open ends, and I really wanted to use this tiny little ribbon. I thought the ribbon was cute. And so all I've got to do now is tie the ends. Nice and tight. Sort of make them even, and then tie them again. You can't, can you see that? Yep. Try and get them about the same, but it doesn't actually matter. See, that one's probably a little bit longer there. So I've finished off the ties there. So let me show you the other ones. So here we are. I've got three little, you can call them nests, you can call them little bags, because they actually go into, oops, a little bag. Like that. And then you just open them up. Something's happened to my ribbon. It's decided to go wonky. There we go. Oops. It wants to do its own thing today. Probably needed a little bit longer ribbon for it to fit properly. It's really not working very well today, are you? You just don't want to. There's the yellow one. Close that one up. Oh, there we go again. Close that one up. Open it. And then this one will close up too. Very good, like that. So very happy with that. If you want to see, Sally and I made a video over on her channel. Very much for watching, and like and subscribe. If you want to see more things on my channel, put your notifications on, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.